Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we got a short Beatles update, but a very kind of important one, at least in my collection. Um, so I got a couple 45s and a pretty rare Paul McCartney LP to show as well. But felt like I haven't really had a true Beatles update in a while, so I'm going to try to see what was going on in Beatles news kind of before my last true update. The last couple videos I posted were just kind of record store day um, extravaganza type finds and stuff like that. But this is probably my first true Beatles update in probably at least a little over a month or so, maybe a little bit more. But so we have all the Revolver stuff come out. Um, I could do a video of all the Revolver stuff that I have right now, but I'm kind of waiting for a few more items to come in the mail. I ordered some stuff from the Beatles.com website, but it's kind of taken a while to get here. So if anything, I might do a video showing what I have now, and when I get the rest of the items, I might do the video again and just kind of post that up again for those two items, or I might add it to a Beatles update video for the people that have seen it. So I'm trying to still wait for all the Revolver stuff to come in, and also the Paul McCartney box set, 7-inch box set single came out. So we'll wait and see if that comes in the mail for me or not. So we'll stay tuned on that in the future. But anyway, back to this Beatles update. We have an important single for me that's kind of pretty much completed a set I've been working on for about 8 years. If you remember, kind of early on in my channel, I made a video found trying to complete the Beatles One album, and in it had a poster about 126 Beatles picture sleeves from around the world. So that's probably why you see me show some foreign picture sleeves a good bit. But I finally got the last one. Um, I could still get one more, but it's really hard to find, and it's from France. And they had an EP version of the same picture, so I'm kind of using that as a placeholder right now. So I technically have all 126 pictures done, but is it exactly the same? No, because that one French is like a jukebox single with It's Boys and Love Me Do, and I currently have the uh, the EP, but it was the same picture. So I'm kind of counting that as complete until I find one, and I still haven't seen one for sale in the 8 years I've been searching and completing this poster. But so what was the final piece I needed? And it was From Me to You and Thank You Girl from Norway. As you can see, we had a good fan, I believe Eva from Norway, who wrote her name all over the cover. But I finally one came up for sale. And actually, two came up for sale. One was a quarter of the price of the other one, and this was the quarter of the price. So I just saw it and I took it. Didn't really matter the condition to me too much. So there's the back. Came out in 1963. And also, to make this a little bit more rare or unique, this is the orange variation. Um, there's also a red variation. The red variation, I believe, is more common. The orange is a little bit less common. So that's pretty cool. And the record label itself is on the old school red Parlophone label. Sorry about the lighting. One of my light bulbs burnt out, and I still have not replaced it yet. So sorry if the lighting is a little bit darker than usual. But there you have it. And I will be making a video sometime in the future of showing every single picture sleeve from that poster recreated um, on like my floor or something like that. It takes up a good bit of floor space. I got it currently laid out right now, but it's pretty cool to finally have that completed. So since that set is done, I was kind of wondering what I'm gonna do next in terms of like a goal I can have. Um, from previous videos, I'm kind of working on different US LP pressings, from original ones all the way up to like the 1990s kind of pressings. But for 45s, I was kind of wondering what to do. For the past 2 years, I've been waiting I pretty much had all the records from the poster filled out for about 2 years, and I needed to find this one. So for about the 2 years of waiting to finally one come up for sale, I was probably working on finding solo 45s and just kind of picking up things I thought that were cool, but primarily building up the solo collection in terms of 45s. So for the Beatles, I decided since I got a lot of picture sleeves from around the world, try not to get a release from every country that produced a Beatles record and try to get like a picture sleeve from that country if possible. Some countries didn't release Beatles records and picture sleeves, so for that, I'll just try to get a record from there. And as far as I know, I believe there's 76 countries that released Beatles records, and I think I have about half, so that's a good start. But once you get towards the bottom, and when I mean the bottom, like countries that released the fewest amount of records or titles, I believe Egypt is the fewest at one. I believe they just released Let It Be. So that's going to be really hard to find. And so I decided to pick this one up. This one is from Thailand from 1969, I believe. And these are technically all unofficial releases from Thailand. And they're kind of expensive. So I was just trying to happy just to find one. And this is an EP with The Ballad of John Yoko, Old Brown Shoe, Get Back, and Hey Bulldog. So kind of a nice little set of songs there. And I believe the only reason why they're kind of unofficial, they're just kind of on this MTR label, nothing really Apple related or Capital related or anything like that. But they have a lot of releases from Thailand. I believe there's a little over 100. But if I see them out in the wild, which I never do, I had to pick this up online. Um, I might pick up another one, but I'm pretty set on that being the only one from Thailand because I really like to collect officially released Beatles albums. I don't really collect too many bootlegs, and then yeah, stay for that. So since that set is done and a new set is completed, hopefully I'll get some more unique countries in, so that'll be pretty nice. And then speaking of getting solo uh, collection complete, at least on vinyl, I found this one out in the wild, just kind of stack of bins shoved in there. And when I flipped to this Paul McCartney album, I was just kind of stunned that I found one just out in the wild. And it is Paul McCartney's Driving Rain from 2001 on vinyl. And I just kind of like double taked when I see this in the bins. So I initially thought that maybe they didn't know kind of the rare of it, and hopefully the price was decent. Unfortunately, the price was still pretty reasonable for what these are going for, I believe. Um, but I didn't get like that special like $20 find. But I'm not complaining. So once I saw this, I told them to put it on hold for me because it is an expensive album, and I got a couple records out of my collection that are non-Beatles related, and kind of traded it in to get store credit, and I got about like halfway there to help out with the album. So here are the inner sleeves, the lyrics on that one, side one, side two, and if I do remember, this was only a Europe release, and I believe there's only 2,000 copies. That from my research, that's kind of what I've heard. If someone can give me an exact copy, um, that would be great. Just leave that in the comments. And the record itself is not bad. It's just got some dirt and grime, I guess, from being about 20 years old, and probably not being stored in the best shape. But the fact that it existed and I found one out in the wild, I'm pretty pleased with. Um, I know it's not his best album, probably be considered one of his worst albums, but just to kind of have the rarity of it all and to have it on vinyl, I was not expecting to have any of this early 2000s, early to mid 2000s, or late 90s albums on vinyl. I was going to be perfectly happy um, to have it on CD, but if I find them out in the wild like this, I'll be more than happy to pick it up if I have the cash for it. So that was a pretty wild find, and that is going to do it for the short Beatles updates in terms of items. But I hope that kind of gives a kind of a little bit of an update of what I'm doing, since I haven't really had a Beatles update in a while, and kind of just update on Revolver. I will have a Revolver video. Like I said, I'm just trying to wait on a couple items if I can. And again, I'll have another video on 126 Beatles albums from around the world. And then I'll start a new set with 45s, and hopefully I can literally get one from every country that released a Beatles album. So I'm going to enjoy all these records I got from the past 6 months or so being up in college. So I got a whole month for Christmas break. I should be home, and I'm going to be enjoying all these records here for the break. And I hope everyone has a good holidays, and I'll be making more videos soon in December. So thanks for watching.